Hello, Lakshmi Ramakrishnan, and welcome to Film Companion South.
Vanakkam. Hi.
Vanakkam. The reason I wanted to have this conversation was one of the things that's always intrigued me about you is that you are a filmmaker and you make films that I really like. I loved House Owner, the one that you made last. And yet, the reputation or popularity or whatever you want to call it, there's a lot of it that comes from another aspect of you which we see on social media. So number one, do you see yourself as an actor or activist, as a filmmaker, or as a some kind of person who fights for social problems?
I don't consider myself as any of these alone, whether it is filmmaking, whether it is being a mother, housewife, or whether it is my activism. I think these are the different roles Lakshmi Ramakrishnan plays. Like, I think all of these make the person I am. So I don't identify myself as one such person, and nothing of this is forced or I plan to do it. No,
Right.
it just happened on its own. I evolved. That's it.
Okay. Now, when you say activism, right? Most people, they take up causes that are little larger, which is, it could be like a dam that's coming up, or that's the typical activist synonym that we use. Like they fight for something that is against if there's a law on free speech or something like that. Whereas you restrict yourself to largely to a zone of that comprises relationships, which I suppose goes back to the things that you do on TV as well. Tell me a little about that. What gives you the confidence to say this is something that I know a lot about? This is something that I think I can sit in judgment on.
See, I won't say I can sit in judgment, but I would say I have a lot of concern for, and I have a lot of conviction in what I believe in.
Okay.
I can't be judgmental, right? It's a matter of your own conviction. So when it comes to that, my experience as a girl, a young girl, getting married, and then at a very early age, and then coming to a different state, and the struggles I faced to um, the identity crisis, still I'm battling the so-called conservatism, you call it, or you call it something else, I don't know, the inequality, gender inequality, or whatever it is. I think all of these have made me believe, or all of these has led me to a place where I strongly feel the family unit, you know, is the basic unit of any society, and everything starts from there. Upbringing, basically. If you want to bring up complete, responsible, balanced citizens, that has to start at home. So unless we give them proper upbringing, which depends largely on the family, whether it is a single parent or a husband and wife together, or with the extended family, that unit plays a major role. So you cannot, what is happening inside every family, whether it is domestic violence or some other social evil, cannot be set aside, discounted, saying it is private affair. In that context, my children were brought up by my husband and I alone. It was okay, wherever my mom could pitch in, she did her best during my delivery and all that. But what I found was, we had always prioritized, nothing was more important for us than our children, because we felt responsible. We brought them into this world. They are all hugely individualistic children. They have their own passion, they are multi-skilled, they're highly qualified with their strengths and weaknesses, but they know their strengths and weaknesses. So I thought what actually contributed to this is our upbringing. So those things, I with my experience, I thought family is a very important family. What do you say? The conducive atmosphere inside a family is very, very important for bringing up responsible citizens. That is why I focus on that.
You mentioned two key things. What you just said. One is family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the definition of family over the years has changed. There are single men who are fathers. There are single women who are mothers. There are products of divorce. There are, gay and lesbian parents. There are people who don't get married and yet have children. So there are many kinds of parents, right? Now, your experience is with one particular kind of family. So when you say that my experience can help the world, how do you, make the transition from the kind of experience that you've had to the world at large?
You have the answer in your question itself, because when you say family, it need not be husband and wife. It could be a single parent. See, when two partners cannot get along and there is a lot of abuse in the relationship, it's absolutely fine, or it's a right thing to move away, because being together will harm the children more. There are many episodes where which I deal in my show, when I say if you both are together, it is going to harm the children more. So when I'm talking about family, it need not be husband and wife. It could be two friends. It could be a single parent. It could be, as you said, two men deciding to have a family, two women deciding to have a family. Though I'm not very I don't belong to a generation which was exposed to all this like how it is now. That is not my fault. But I respect that. There is no way I would come and say I would be judgmental about it. But whatever family, type of family you are, maintaining a healthy, conducive atmosphere for the children is very important.
Right.
That is what I'm saying.
So would you say that the reason you got into the recent controversy regarding Vanitha Vijay Kumar and her husband and that whole issue was your concern for the children involved in that issue?
No, it was not their children, because there are so many children like that. So when all this happened, I sat down and thought over it. I said, why did I interfere? Because whenever something happens, I start looking at myself before I decide how to go forward. That's very important for me, because I want to learn a lesson from whatever experience I go through. So when I look back, okay, first of all, the first comment I made was, after many, this has been happening, this was all over the place, but I truly believe that it is her right, her life, and her decision to live her life. I never even made a single comment. The first comment which came from me was when I saw the legal wife coming and claiming on media, that to a popular news channel.
Okay.
She came and said, I'm not yet divorced. That one thing, it was like, I see such women, such cases in my show day in and day out. So immediately I connected to it, and I said, at least make sure that you get a court divorce before getting into a relationship, because it will avoid a lot of unnecessary tension. That's all I said. But then some of the media made it look like a fight between me and the Bigg Boss contestant. What happened was, after I did that, there was personal attacks from that side. So much of personal attacks, pulling my show, this and that. But I didn't react to any of this. I maintained my decency, and I could understand that she's going through a tough phase. So I didn't want to add up to her misery. So I maintained, if you check my tweets, you will know. I maintained that. I said nothing. I'm not judgmental. I'm not saying that we wish you well. But you should have, before coming out and celebrating or glorifying a relationship, make sure it is legal, because this is going to be a wrong precedence for many people, or people might just catch hold of it because you're a popular figure. So tomorrow somebody will come and say, she did it, why did you not object? She did it. There are people who waiting for a chance to give some excuse and say, justify their wrong actions. That was a concern. But when it was blown out of proportion, and the media, some of the media guys made it look like, it's a personal fight. So the basic thing is, I didn't fight, or I didn't give a tweet to get my husband back. It was for somebody else's life and husband. And it was not even a personal tweet. It was from the social point of view, society point of view, right? That happened even the earlier case where Jyotika was attacked. Jyotika was attacked, I went through hell, Rangan. I don't know whether you know about it. They did all sorts of things. They did morph my images and put it in very bad sites. Every day I used to get 1,500 messages, not less than 1,500 messages, with the so-called extremists saying the temple was attacked, a Hindu belief was attacked. Just because I supported Jyotika. There also I got into problem, not for my sake. When another woman was attacked. During Me Too also the same thing happened. I didn't fight for my sake. I am already 55. I don't have to come and say something now for my sake. I have traveled that path. I have a supportive life partner with God's grace and lot of confidence which my parents have instilled in me. I have walked that path. Okay. Now, when I spoke for Me Too also, they made it look like it's a personal thing, and also caste politics was brought into it. Chinmayi was belonged to supposed to be belonging to some community, but Jyotika was not. Elizabeth is not. So, or Hasani is not, or Nandini is not. So the community or the thing doesn't matter to me. It was not my personal fight. But some of the media made it look like that, and I decided, no, sorry, let me not get into it. I moved out. I apologized to her, not for anything else. I thought I could have picked up the phone and spoken to her instead of tweeting. I thought that was a valid reason. I could have, but I didn't feel so, because I didn't feel it was a private affair anymore. It was already public and it was all over the place. So I didn't feel that need to privately talk to her. But then I thought, yes, I could have gone one step further, thought from her shoes, and picked up the phone and talked to her. I apologized publicly and I moved out. It's okay to apologize. When you really feel that you could have done a better thing, there is nothing wrong in apologizing. It needs a lot of strength to apologize. I moved out. Then, after all this happened, I happened to watch a video which really irritated me.
What is this video?
It is the Bigg Boss contestant and her, and her partner were talking about the wife, the legal wife, and they were this person, this lady was instigating the other person to clarify to the public why they had a separation and stuff like that. I just couldn't accept it. As a woman, I could imagine the wife's pain. So when I saw that, I naturally reacted. It was for the media house to chop that reaction and put what is good for to be conveyed on a public platform. But that never happens. I have faced this 8 years. In my show also, it's a reality show. My reactions are all very genuine. I'm a very expressive person. I'm an emotional person. You could say I'm a very dramatic person also. That's my quality, that I accept it. But it is for these mediums, these platforms, to chop off what is not needed, what is okay to go on the public forum. That is their job. Okay, they did it. It was sort of a sensationalizing the thing. That is fine. But I don't regret one bit that I had commented on this. You know why? The second time when I entered, it was very conscious.
After the apology.
After the apology, it was almost 1.5 months. I didn't interfere at all. When this video came out, which was in very bad taste, very, very bad taste, I just couldn't control myself. So if I had kept quiet, I would have regretted. I would have felt guilty, because every time I sit in front of the camera in my show and talk to the couples and tell them, share so many things, my views. If I do that in front of the camera for a show where I take money, where I get a salary to do that, and to be a different person outside in the society is not acceptable to me.
Right.
What I truly don't believe in, I don't have to write. I don't have the right to talk about it in front of the camera. That's not just a job for me. Everything I say, I believe in. So when I reviewed myself, whether why I got into it, I feel it's the right thing I did.
Okay, you mentioned Jyotika, and with I think that affair was a little more, at least from where I stand, it's a little clean cut because you're talking about why can't hospitals, be better, right? We're spending so much money. So for me, that is like it's very easy to take a stand on for me. Whereas, again, personally speaking, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to people, it's very hard for me on the outside to look at either the couples in the video, the Big Boss contestant and a partner, or the estranged wife. It's very difficult for me to say who's right and who's wrong, because it's like not right and wrong as in perceived behavior, but whether the divorce, who's saying the truth, who's not telling the truth. You say that video incited you after the apology, the video is how do you decide that this is what is the truth and therefore I should defend it? How does that clarity come to you?
See, we are not coming and sitting here saying who is right and who is wrong.
Right.
My only request was, when you come on a public platform and announce your relationship, make sure that legalities are through. Because when you do this, you might be able to handle it. Okay. But the other party might not be in a place where she can handle it. They might not be so empowered financially or otherwise. And this could become a wrong precedence or a wrong example for many others. Because still, we are talking about a 5% of the society where women are independent, financially independent. The rest 95% is still, they are dependent on their partners, husbands. Okay, when they leave and go, whether it is the wife's fault or whether it is the husband's fault, the fact is that the women and the children are stranded. They come to the streets. They will have a child in hand. They will have a child in the tummy. They will have one in the hand, and and then the husband goes. It becomes very difficult for them. There, you can't go and talk about independence, and you can't talk about why you want this. You have to be. That doesn't work.
Right.
So my point was only that what I said, I didn't say that you should not. Why should I go and talk about her choice? No. My only thing is, don't set a wrong example, because there is already so much of this happening in the society, which is very difficult to set right. Because most of these cases in the other section of society, they go to the police station they will write and give, and they take it as a divorce, and they get into a relationship again. But then later on, there will be a lot of complications. So even in my show, I keep saying, when you're getting married, when you're getting into a relationship with a married man or a married woman, make sure you have a court divorce. That will save you all the trouble. And when you decide to part ways, do it in a dignified manner. Don't badmouth about each other. That's a social concern. It is not a private affair. And that's where we are all, we disagree. Take an example of two families like this. Imagine what the children go through. Don't
Right.
you think it will have an effect on them as individuals, as adults? What have they learned from their parents? How do they learn to respect their partners? Where is that thing called trust fall in this whole agenda?
I agree with you to a small extent, in the sense that there is a no. What I'm saying is, because I'm trying to understand, because you do the show, is Twitter really the best way to handle the situation? Because it is a very toxic kind of platform. It's a very negative platform. So I get the fact that you were incensed. You wanted to support this person, this estranged wife. You wanted to, show your support. Is Twitter really the best way to do that? Because of two reasons. One is, it's going to draw a lot of unwanted voices into this debate, right? Now we are talking about Lakshmi Ramakrishnan wants to make sure that the estranged wife comes out of this relatively, decently in the sense that she's not too harmed by this. That is your concern, right? The family.
No.
Okay.
No. That is one of my concern. But my main concern was we should not allow someone to glorify a relationship which is not yet legal.
But tell me one thing. So, okay, let's go back to that. I will come back to this. Let's go back to the Twitter, right? Is that really the best way to show your support for somebody?
No, that's what I have learned in the whole process.
Okay.
That is my takeaway this time. My husband and my children have been telling me from so many years that social media is not the place to show your activism. I have never listened to them because I love to express myself on Twitter. Somehow I love that platform. This incident taught me a very, very costly lesson. You know why? Because it's not that one big boss contestant. Because of her, many other elements surfaced, which was, I should be thankful to her.
Okay.
Because if there is one regret I have in the whole episode, that is when I agreed to talk to her. Because they called up from behind woods. There were 2-3 calls and convinced me to go online with that big boss contestant. Then finally I said, okay, see, my thing was, if I go and talk to her, I had only one agenda in mind. I said, please do not post anything related to this, because when you show intimacy and you show very, such videos on public forums, it disturbs the wife and children. And that's something which we should understand. You have
You're
to be...
talking about the couple.
Pardon?
You're talking about the couple, their videos.
Their videos, their intimate videos, and they're celebrating their relationship. All that you can do once you have the legal formalities done. But now if you do this, it's going to disturb them. And also, I wanted to tell her, there are so many women who are suffering because of this problem. So if you do this, those men will take this as an example or this as a precedence. Please don't do this. I wanted to request her. That was my only intention of going online. And to tell you, Rangan, in my experience of 8 years, I have faced some very weird cases. That is what gave me the confidence. Very tough nuts to crack. I have convinced them. For example, there was this guy who came out from the jail and went around saying, I'm going to kill 3 people from Soladalam on my team. One is the director, one is the reporter who took him to the show, and the third person, he did not say who it is. Okay. And this guy had attended our session. What happened was, he had done 3 murders earlier, and he was out on bail, and then our case it went off and all that. He had a fight with his wife, and they came for Solhadalam on my show. It was a very small personal fight. But when we were talking, this guy got so much of confidence and started talking about all the murders he did, how he came out of the cases, how he hooked 11 people and made the case fizzle out. And then he said how he used to, smuggle in drugs inside the jail and all that stuff. And though these people edited, whatever was there itself attracted the attention of the authorities, and he was taken in. When he was taken in, his wife also decided to be separated from him. She went off. So when this guy came out, he was so disappointed. He was angry with Solvadalam on my team. From our point of view, they came to us. He blurted out everything. I didn't. Then the channel said, 1 week you close down. None of you come to office because we don't want him to come here and create a scene. I said, no, that's not the way to get away. I want to talk to him. I want to make him, because they were all worried that he was trying to attack me. I said, I want to talk to him. They were going crazy. They said, what nonsense? You want to talk to that? He's a murderer. He's a criminal. I said, no, I want to talk to him. Please trust me and bring him. So these people went through some contact. They contacted him because all the numbers, everything we have now, said, ma'am wants to talk to you. And he agreed. So inside channel office, inside cafeteria, he came. I said, all of you go out. They were all so scared. We both sat across the table and I asked him, why are you angry? We didn't force you to come. Okay, you came on your own. You said everything, and what you did was very wrong. You committed 3 murders, and then when police pick you up, you blame us. You want to kill us. Then he said, "No, ma'am, I never said." I said, "I know you are now you're working as a call driver, and what you have said, we've already got the news." Then he said, "Yes, ma'am, I was angry with the director. I was angry with the reporter, but I never spoke about you, ma'am, because I'm your fan and I have a photograph, our selfie, I've hung it in my wall." He said, I said, "Who is the third person?" He said, "The third person is the guy who was sitting next to me. He was chewing pan and he was spitting all over the place." And I convinced him. I said, "Now this is an opportunity for you to make changes. Why don't you, if you want to get a job for you, want us to get a job for you, or if you want any legal help, whatever, we are ready to help you." He came around. So that tough thing, I sat face to face, and because I thought to leave him like that was very dangerous. To sit across and sort out things is my cup of tea. With that confidence, I went online. I wanted to tell her, please, don't celebrate this now. Let everything set right. You take care of your legalities, everything. Let her also have a peaceful this thing. Anyway, they were not living together. Okay, what was making her come to media is only your videos and your interviews, which is actually very hurtful for the family. Don't do that. That was my only request. Then when she started itself, I started, okay, Vanakamma, Solidhan, I'll start panna. I forgot, I forgave her for all the personal attacks she did earlier. Okay, started Vanakamma. She said, "Oh, hi," she said, and she started. And at one stage, Ram came in and he closed my laptop. He said, "No, you're not talking." I should have stopped at that. I could never imagine, because I told you I have seen people from different walks of life, from the worst condition, but they always had that one thing, they were ready to, they always had one side in them which was very gentle, which was, which listened to logical, rational things. But here I was wrong. Again, I went back to the call. That time also, I could never imagine that somebody would stoop to this level and abuse someone just out of the blue, just to probably that is her defense system. Probably that is what her experience has taught her. I don't know. But I could have never imagined that. So I learned, one regret I have is, why did I go on call? Okay, one more thing I wanted to clarify. When I say regret, with that video, what happened? That is not going to damage me. It is going to damage her. It has damaged her reputation, not my reputation. How I have lived my life, what sort of couple we are, we know, our family knows, my followers know. No sensible, no intelligent, no decent person will, even 0.1%, even think that there was something true in what she said. Okay, people know. But I gave an opportunity for my other, haters who had a personal agenda or a hidden agenda to celebrate that moment. That is the only regret I have.
So in future, would you say that you would not go back on Twitter in such a situation?
I would never ever go back on Twitter for activism. I've taken a call.
Supposing something went wrong with your life, how would you like it if the world sat on judgment on that?
Each person's journey is different, battle is different. So you can't generalize. But the mindset of people towards a certain issue matters a lot. Pahalwan Ranganathan talks about all women in the film industry. What nonsense is this? I see so many people from every walk of life coming to my show, having extramarital relationship and multiple relationship. They are not cinema people. Successful people are not the ones who compromise. Successful people are the ones who believe in themselves and have their principles intact. They have their self-respect intact. I don't know whether you have seen Manichitra Thalu. There is a dialogue in the end where Mohanlal says, "I could have given her back to you as a Jiva Chavam, as a dead person, but to give her back to you as the original, the sprightly, happy girl, is what my intention. From Solvadallam Ummai to Nerkonda Paabai, it's a long journey and evolution has happened.